Hi everybody, I am Mrs. Dupre, also known as Ms. Bischoff from East Elementary. Today I'm going to read you a story about the movie Frozen. I know that most people have seen the movie, so this book is going to be based on the movie. This book is very special because it is a pop-up book. For those of you that don't know what a pop-up book is, it's when the pictures pop up out of the story to create a magical adventure. So here's the book. The title is Frozen, and it is written by Matthew Reinhardt. Far beyond the northern horizon, nestled between snow-capped mountains and crystal blue waters, lay the kingdom of Arendelle. High above the mountains, the northern lights twinkled and danced in the sky, but in the valley below lurked a startling secret. King Agnor and Queen Iduna and their daughters Elsa and Anna were beloved by the citizens of Arendelle, but all was not as it seemed with the royal family. Unbeknownst to most, everyone in the kingdom, the king and queen's eldest daughter, Elsa, had been born with a special icy magic. Anna adored her big sister. She loved when Elsa secretly used her frosty powers. With a flourish of her hand, Elsa would magically turn the castle's great hall into a wintry wonderland, complete with snowy hills and a snowman the girls named Olaf. Then one night, the sisters' playtime suddenly spun out of control. As Anna bounded over a mound of snow, Elsa accidentally struck her in the head with a burst of magic. Anna fell to the ground unconscious. Hearing Elsa's cries for help, the king and queen rushed in. They found Elsa kneeling over her sister. King Agnor frantically searched the castle's library for a way to help his youngest daughter. Finally, he found a book that told of the trolls, a group of mysterious healers who knew about magic. The family rode off into the night. When at last they reached Troll Valley, Grandpappy, the oldest and wisest of the trolls, stepped forward to examine the unconscious princess. He explained that Anna was lucky to have been struck in the head rather than the heart. The princess could be healed, but would require removing all memories of Elsa's magic. Turning to Elsa, the wise troll issued a cryptic warning: fear would be her enemy. The king and queen took Grandpappy's warning to heart, worried about how their subjects would react if they learned of Elsa's magic. The king and queen closed the gates, keeping their daughter safe and sealed within the castle walls. With the help of her parents, Elsa worked to control her magic. She tried to suppress her emotions and even wore gloves to protect others from her icy touch. But still, her magic continued to grow. Fearful of hurting her sister again, Elsa shut Anna out of her life completely. Anna, who did not remember Elsa's magic, was confused by her sister's behavior. She missed loving her sister she had known. Time and time again, she tried to make Elsa play with her. But the years passed and Elsa remained isolated. Anna grew into a lonely but spirited young woman who longed for adventure. She dreamed of seeing everything lay in the big, exciting world beyond the castle's gates. Then tragedy struck. While on a voyage to visit a neighboring kingdom, the king and queen were lost at sea in a terrible storm. The sisters were broken-hearted. Elsa, afraid of hurting Anna, withdrew even further, leaving a confused Anna feeling more alone than ever. Elsa was next in line to become Queen of Arendelle. Everyone in the kingdom rejoiced at the news of the upcoming coronation ball, but no one was more excited than Anna. For the first time, what felt like forever, she would be free of the castle walls. Elsa did not share her sister's excitement. She worried that a castle full of guests would make it very hard for her to control her icy powers. Royal visitors from kingdoms far and wide gathered in Arendelle on the morning of Elsa's 21st birthday. One such visitor was the handsome Prince Hans of the Southern Isles. But instead of meeting Elsa, Hans stumbled across Anna, who was instantly charmed by the prince. That evening, while the guests gathered in the castle hall, Anna snuck away with the Prince Halls. The two of them had much in common, and by the evening's end, Anna had fallen head over heels in love. When Hans unexpectedly proposed to her, Anna immediately agreed. The castle's gates had opened, and it seemed that true love had walked through. Ecstatic over her engagement, Anna raced into the great hall to share the news with her sister. But to Anna's surprise, Elsa refused to bless the marriage. Elsa wanted to protect her sister. She could not let Anna marry a man that she had just met. Anna was shocked. She could not understand why Elsa seemed determined to destroy her happiness. Elsa turned to leave, but Anna grabbed her sister's hand, accidentally yanking off one of Elsa's protective gloves. A bolt of magic escaped from Elsa's fingers, sending a sheet of ice across the floor. Everyone gasped in shock and terror. Horrified at having lost control and fearful someone would get hurt, especially Anna, Elsa fled from the castle and across the water, freezing everything in her path. Elsa stopped high atop the peak of the northern mountain. As frozen winds whipped around her, the newly crowned queen found strength. No more hiding from the world, for up there she could unleash her powers without hurting anyone, especially Anna. Elsa waved her arms. Flurries of icy magic whisked from her fingertips, causing snowflakes to dance and spin around her. Towering shards of ice rose from the snowy ground, weaving themselves into beams, walls, and archways. Elsa had created a glittering palace of ice. She tossed aside her crown. Isolated from Anna and the rest of the kingdom, Elsa could at last let go. Meanwhile, back in Arendelle, Elsa's powers had accidentally set off a winter storm, and Anna finally realized why Elsa had been hiding away all those years. Anna felt responsible and set off on horseback, determined to find Elsa and bring her back, and to bring back summer. But Anna was unprepared for the cold journey. Luckily, the young princess happened upon Wandering Oaken's trading post. Inside, Anna met a gruff iced harvester named Kristoff, who was looking for winter supplies. Kristoff and the store's owner, Oaken, could not see eye to eye, and before long was thrown into the bitter cold. Empty-handed, Anna was startled by the loud scuffle, but it gave her the perfect idea. While Sven pulled their sleigh through mounting snow, Kristoff listened to Anna recount the events of the night. Unfortunately, the group soon attracted some unwanted attention, a pack of vicious wolves. The only escape was over a deep ravine. As the wolves closed in, baring their teeth and snarling ferociously, Kristoff, Anna, and Sven jumped. They made it to the other side, but their sleigh was not so lucky. It smashed to pieces below. The three had no choice but to continue on foot. As the sun rose over the mountains, the group came upon a majestic forest covered in twinkling icicles. Anna marveled at the beauty around her, amazed by the delicate willow branches beaded with ice. She could hardly believe what Elsa's magic had created. Suddenly, Anna and Kristoff heard a strange voice. It was a walking, talking snowman. He called himself Olaf. As Anna studied the snowman, she remembered one she and Elsa had made as children. She realized that Elsa's magic had made Olaf. Anna told the snowman about their journey and had asked for his help. To Anna and Kristoff's surprise, Olaf couldn't wait to help them restore summer. He longed to feel the sun on his face and the hot sand beneath his snowy feet. Anna decided not to tell Olaf what happened to ice when the weather got warm. Already charmed by the little snowman, Anna didn't want to spoil his dreams. So she, Kristoff, and Sven followed Olaf as he enthusiastically led them toward Elsa. With the little snowman leading the way, the group soon reached Elsa's ice palace. Anna hesitantly stepped through the doors. Now that she knew Elsa's secret, she was sure the two of them would be as close as they had been as children. The sisters' reunion did not go as Anna had planned. Fearful that her powers might end up hurting her sister, Elsa demanded that Anna leave, but Anna would not go. As Anna explained that Elsa's magic had unleashed an eternal winter across Arendelle. Elsa grew more and more afraid. She didn't know how to undo what she had done. Suddenly, uncontrollable bursts of magic escaped from her body, striking Anna. Elsa knew she had to make Anna leave before she accidentally hurt herself again. So she conjured a monstrous ice giant to chase her visitors away. Anna, Olaf, and Kristoff narrowly escaped the frozen behemoth by jumping over a cliff. As they brushed the snow from their clothes, Kristoff noticed something terribly wrong with Anna. Her hair was turning white. As Anna's condition worsened, Kristoff rushed her to Troll Valley. Kristoff had been adopted by the trolls as a little boy, and he had seen them heal Anna before. He hoped they would be able to heal her again, but Grandpappy could not heal Anna this time. Elsa's icy magic had struck Anna in the heart. Only an act of true love could save her now. Without one, Anna would freeze completely. Concerned for Anna, Kristoff gathered her into his arms. Perhaps a true love's kiss from Hans could save her. Kristoff raced down the mountain to Arendelle to find Hans. Back in Arendelle, Prince Hans had grown alarmed when Anna's horse returned without her. Gathering a troop of guards, he set off to find the royal sisters. Hans and his men found Elsa in her palace. The prince tried to reason with Elsa and make her return to Arendelle peacefully, but the guards had other plans. They overcame the queen and took her back to the castle where she was imprisoned in the dungeon. After a long journey down the mountain with Kristoff, Sven, and Olaf, and ailing Anna was at last reunited with Prince Hans. Anna explained all that had happened and begged Hans to kiss her. Smiling, the prince leaned forward and then pulled back with a cruel sneer. He revealed that he had only pretended to love Anna so he could take control of Arendelle. Once Anna was gone and Elsa was out of the way, the throne would be his. With one last cold look, he locked Anna in the library and left her to freeze to death. Anna slumped against the door. She was just beginning to lose hope when the door swung open. It was Olaf. Anna told the little snowman what had happened with Hans. She thought Hans loved her, but she had been wrong. Dejected, Anna wondered if she even knew what love was. Olaf smiled kindly at Anna and explained that love was being willing to sacrifice your happiness for someone else, like Kristoff had done when he brought Anna to Hans. Anna was surprised to learn that Kristoff loved her. Thinking about the iced harvester, she realized she had come to care for him too. With Olaf's help, Anna escaped the library and set off in search for Kristoff. Unfortunately, the winter storm was growing worse. Elsa's fear of hurting someone else had caused her power to spin out of control. Finally, it had grown so great that she had broken free of her chains and escaped the dungeon. Elsa raced across the frozen forge behind her, calling out to the queen. Hans told Elsa that her magic had killed Anna. Devastated, Elsa sank to her knees, her magic stopping the snow around her in midair. Across the forge, an almost frozen Anna trudged on. She had just spotted Kristoff and was making her way toward him when she heard a sound. It was Hans. He had unsheathed his sword and was preparing to slay Elsa. Without a second thought, Anna turned away from Kristoff and threw herself in front of Hans' blade. As the blade fell, Anna's body turned into solid ice. Elsa wept, embracing her sister. Suddenly she felt an arm tighten around her. Anna had begun to melt. Sacrificing her own life to save her sister was just the act of true love needed to thaw Anna's heart. Looking at her sister, Elsa realized that love was the key to controlling her ice powers. With her newfound understanding, Elsa ended the storm and restored summer to Arendelle. Now that she could rule the kingdom in peace without fear of hurting anyone with her powers, she opened the castle gates for good. Queen Elsa and Princess Anna had renewed their bond as sisters. Happiness and love had returned to Arendelle. The end.